Welcome back to the newsroom here at France 24. James Creedon is here for Media Watch. Welcome, James.
Well, thank you, Catherine. I was going to say welcome as well, but that would be a bit
welcome to you and your laptop, in which you're going to show us all the latest, what everyone's been saying about Rick Perry and his very embarrassing moment.
It was embarrassing, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3. It's not a lot to remember, but what essentially happened was he was trying to list 3 government agencies that he would get rid of if he was elected president. Couldn't remember the third one, so you can see here the Huffington Post is calling it The Stumble. For the Politico, and another politics website, they're calling it Perry's bizarre brain freeze. Others have called it a slow-moving train crash. So I suppose the best thing to do at this point is actually to look at what happened.
It's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see. The third agency of government, yeah. I would do away with the education, commerce, and let's see. I can't. The third one I can't. Sorry. Oops.
Oops, indeed.
Oops.
That's quite embarrassing, isn't it?
And the thing is, if you look at the whole video, it went on for about a minute. And another candidate suggested, is it the EPA? And he said, yes, it is the EPA. Actually, it's not the EPA. The whole thing was just a catastrophe.
I bet they loved it as well.
Well, very good humour, not so good for kind of serious politics. And as you can see, even Fox News is saying Perry's painful performance opens the door wider for Gingrich. That's another one of the candidates, Newt Gingrich. And on Twitter, they've also been talking about this, saying, let's choose a president who can handle a brutal economy, rampant unemployment, and lists of 3. It's not a lot to ask, really, is it? So what else has been going on online? There's been all sorts of, I suppose, people making fun of him, really. It's what you do at moments like this. But before I get to that, Rick Perry made some fun of himself, and on his website, as a means of coming back, making a bit of a comeback, he said, well, what part of the federal government would you like to forget about the most? And so that was an attempt, I suppose, to get past it. Not bad. That was pretty quick. But this particular blog I find quite good. Rick Perry attempts to remember famous trilogies. So there are the obvious ones. Scream 1, Scream 2, and Scream... and you can't remember it. And then The Lion, The Witch, and the ... So they've listed famous trilogies and how Rick Perry might have remembered or not the third of the trilogy. Now, just very quickly, The Guardian has come up with a kind of a list of political lapses down through the years. Sarah Palin, who wouldn't list any newspaper that she reads. Barack Obama, who said that he'd been to all 58 states. That was back in 2008. There were only 50. They're not really lapses, though. But my favourite is John Redwood. He's the former Secretary of State for Wales in the John Major government. Fair enough, he's born in Kent in England, but he couldn't really remember the words of the Welsh national anthem. Let's have a look at this embarrassing attempt to look, like you're joining in.
Okay, he pretty clearly did not know any of the words.
But impressive nodding and eye movements, if that can make up for not knowing the lyrics.
7 for effort.
Right, exactly.
Okay, well, that's Rick Perry.
Yes.
What else have you got for us?
All right, well, just very briefly, in terms of French news today in the media, let's have a look at the front page of Le Monde. After Greece and Italy, is France next? There's been a lot of doom and gloom in the French press today about France losing its AAA rating, about the French debt being the highest of any AAA rated country, etc., etc. Also on Courrier International, if we have a look at their front cover today, Courrier International is a magazine that takes international press, translates it into French. The real state of France is their I suppose, special coverage this particular week, and it's very negative indeed. Just a quick taste of what they're saying. The country of Louis XIV, Napoleon, and Charles de Gaulle sees itself as a natural leader in Europe, but France's hour of truth is coming, and they list off all the reasons why France mightn't be as influential and as powerful as it once was, and why the economy is really not looking good at all. So doom and gloom in the French media today about the economy.
Pretty tough reading for people here in France. Yes. Thanks very much, James Creedon. That was Media Watch here on France 24.